Di Stefano, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Riquelme. The list of legendary South Americans who have graced European football is endless. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. European clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona and Benfica have long understood the value of the footballing goldmine that is South America. When it comes to United though, the story of South American talent is, well, complicated. Before we dive into United's story though, we need to set the stage. Rewind to 1978, when Argentina had just won the World Cup on home soil. Two of their midfield maestros were about to make history. Ossie Ardiles and Ricky Villa signed for Spurs, becoming the first South Americans in a modern era to grace English football. Fast forward to the Premier League's inaugural season in '92, and you'd find 0 South American players. Not a single one. But oh how times have changed. As of September 2024, there are 60 South Americans currently playing in the Premier League. Brazilians and Argentinians lead the charge. But where do United fit in this picture? United were late to the party. Our first South American signing? I'll give you a second to guess. It was Juan Sebastian Veron in 2001. You heard that right. It took United nearly a decade after the Premier League's formation to sign their first South American player. Now since then, they've signed 25 players from just 6 of the 12 South American countries. Let's take a look at some notable names. Diego Forlan in 2002. Struggled at United, obviously scored a couple at Anfield, that won't be forgotten, but went on to become a La Liga great. Carlos Tevez in 2007 was part of that legendary attacking trio with Rooney and Ronaldo before he went to City. Anderson, also in 2007, his talent was obvious, but he never quite fulfilled his potential. Angel Di Maria in 2014, a record signing that, well, let's just say it didn't work out. Radamel Falcao, another that failed to live up to expectations, arriving off the back of a cruciate ligament injury. And more recently, we've seen the likes of Cavani, Casemiro, Antony, and Martinez join the ranks. Now, what do most of these players have in common? Many of them came to United after already establishing themselves in Europe. Direct transfers from South America, however, just 7 of 25 at United. Now let's take a deeper look at the current state of affairs. As of September 2024, there are 60 South Americans currently playing in the Premier League. There are 32 Brazilians currently in the Premier League and 11 Argentinians. Garnacho, Martinez, Casemiro and Antony. But here's the kicker. Only 40% of South American players in the Premier League came from their home continent. The rest, they've all taken that detour through European leagues first. So how are United approaching the South American market now? Are we looking for gems? They've got Giuseppe Antonaccio, who has been the lead scout for North and South America since 2016. They're using a system called TrackerMan to collate information from a global network of 140 scouts. But the important detail is that United's major issue hasn't really been in identifying talent. They had their eyes on players like Moises Caicedo and Julian Alvarez before they moved to the Premier League. The problem, as one insider puts it, tips get lost in the system. The Glazer ownership was notoriously slow to act on prospects. But with Ineos now involved and a new scouting setup underway, could these missed opportunities become a thing of the past? Enter Christopher Vavell, United's new global director of talent. Looking at his past clubs like Hoffenheim, Salzburg, Chelsea, we see a pattern. While he's made some South American signings, it's not his primary focus. Seems to favour European talent, particularly from France, and has a keen eye for African players. But here's the thing, United isn't Salzburg or Hoffenheim. With the club's resources and global reach, Vavell might just expand his horizons. And United are playing catch-up, because let's take a look at some clubs that have mastered the South American market. Real Madrid have become synonymous with Brazilian superstars. From Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos back in the day, to Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and now Endrick, they've consistently struck gold. Their secret? Patience. Many of these players were raw talents when they arrived, but Madrid did give them time to develop, and the Champions League trophies continue to roll in. Their hit rate has been fantastic. Benfica, on the other hand, have used the South American market to make them a financial powerhouse. Since 2017, they made €246 million on just 3 players: Enzo, Darwin Núñez, and Ederson, and millions more in flipping other players. Benfica are the absolute best at it. But let's fly back to England. And the real pioneer in the Premier League has been Brighton. They've made excellent use of not just scouting talent, but embedding it into their first team. Players like Moises Caicedo and Alexis McAllister are big names who have since moved on and are testament to their success. But the likes of Valentino Barco and Facundo Buonanotte are both promising players currently out on loan from the club. Rather than buying South American talents from middlemen in Portugal or Spain for big fees, Brighton are willing to take calculated risks on the right profile and act as a middlemen themselves. There's a seismic shift happening in the transfer market. The game is changing, and it's changing fast. Traditionally, South American players would often move to those European clubs first, but now it's different. As of 2024, a staggering 40% of South American players in the Premier League have come directly from their home continent. Clubs are now trying to cut out the middlemen. It's a riskier strategy, but the potential rewards are enormous. Take Chelsea, for example. They've been at the forefront of this new approach, signing, among around about 4,500 other players, South American youngsters like Kendry Páez and Estevao. These aren't just established stars, they're raw, unproven talents, but the potential is off the charts. Páez and Estevao are considered potential Ballon d'Or type talents. In fact, Estevao received his first Brazil call-up at just 17. That's the kind of potential we're talking about. City are another club getting in on the action. They secured the signing of Claudio Echeverri, another highly touted prospect. But these clubs aren't just signing these players and throwing them into the deep end. They're playing the long game. Some players like Angelo Gabriel are loaned back to their original clubs immediately. Others like Andre Santos are sent to partner clubs in Europe. Chelsea, for instance, loaned Santos to Strasbourg, which is part of the same ownership group. Now again, this strategy is not without risk. For every wonder kid that fulfills their potential, there might be 9 that don't make the grade. But here's the thing, even if it's only 1 in 10 of these players that become a superstar, the strategy will pay off. And it's not just the big clubs getting in on the action. Wolves, for instance, recently signed 18-year-old Brazilian right-back Pedro Lima. This shows that clubs up and down the Premier League are starting to see the value in this approach. And there's a reason for it. The talent pool in South America is deeper than ever right now. Players like Loran from Flamengo, Rayan from Vasco da Gama, Agustin Roberto from River Plate, and Franco Mastantuono from Atletico Sarmiento are just a few of the names to watch. What does this all mean for United? We've traditionally focused on signing established players or players who have already proven themselves in Europe. But in today's market, that approach might be leaving us behind. To truly tap into the South American market, United are going to have to focus on young players with immense potential, improve the scouting network in South America to identify those talents earlier, develop the pathway for young talents, be willing to take calculated risks, and to look beyond Brazil and Argentina. Inflated transfer fees and wages that established players command leave little room for error in the market. It's not really sustainable. The South American market could be a perfect remedy. The question isn't whether United should tap into this market, it's how they can do it most effectively. With the right strategy, United could once again become the destination of choice for the world's most promising young talents. Imagine a United team with a flair of Brazilian wingers combined with the grit of Argentinian defenders, all nurtured and developed within the club's storied system. A team that not only competes at the highest level, but captivates fans with style and passion. The potential is immense. The talent, it's abundant. But will United be able to seize that opportunity? Can we turn South American signings into superstars? Well, I hope so, because certainly United are missing out if we don't.